And then we'll go to the beautiful island of Crete. So Crete is the largest island in Greece. So you can see it's quite large. And it's definitely one of distinct culture and history. So according to the Cretans, everything started there in terms of civilization. So it started from Heraklion, like, the east side of Crete, and then moved up to Peloponnese, and then moved to Athens, and then moved to the Romans and the rest of the world. So,
okay, wow.
So it's quite, I mean, if you're into history, but Crete is an island that it's known for its delicious cuisine. It's known for the variety of activities. Even if you're a young couple, or you're looking for an adventure, or a honeymoon couple, or a multi-generational, a trip that you're planning for a family, Crete can cover every taste. So there is, they're very known for the music and traditional dancing, which they perform with the traditional outfits as well. And I say that because during the summer, especially, there is a lot of festivities that are connected to the religion. So let's say, during the summer months, there would be probably about 30 or 40 of those. So every celebration is a good excuse for a party. Maybe not this year too much, but
yeah.
So the island, actually, from the east, you see on the map, from the east side to the west side, it takes about 4 hours to get from the one side to the other. So it's quite big.
Okay, yeah, that's large.
So in Heraklion, when you're in Heraklion, you just minutes away from the city center, you'll find the Amirandes Resort, another virtuoso property, which is my favorite, especially for family. Holiday. Sorry, carry on.
That's right. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I don't think I mentioned the advantage of the virtuoso properties and what the virtuoso difference is. So I just want to backtrack a little bit. Virtuoso Preferred is only the best of the best. It's all 5-star hotels. And some of the advantages of working with Virtuoso is you get some included perks, like breakfast for 2 every morning is included. Free upgrade upon arrival if available, which is a really nice feature. And then also, an early check-in or late checkout. And that's really important when you're coming from, America to Greece or to Europe, because typically those flights are overnight. So you might, leave Chicago at 8 p.m. and then you might get there at, 8 or 9 a.m. and you might be kind of tired and you're going to want to take a quick nap. So that's really important that you can have that early check-in available, or possibly the late checkout if you're taking an overnight flight back to the States. So carry on. Sorry about that.
No, that's spot on, because there is actually more. Normally, with all our Virtuoso properties, you would have a full list, and the credit, the resort credit is something that a lot of Virtuoso properties are also offering. But in case there's somebody travels to Greece and there is no Virtuoso property around, when you work with us, you still get similar amenities. So you will not be missing out on any of the benefits. So this is just the Amirandes built by the beach. So it makes it, and it's got a kids club, so it makes it ideal for families. And then again, when you're in the area of Heraklion, you should definitely visit the Knossos Palace. This is the one that I was talking about, where the whole Western civilization started from.
Wow.
So this is even older in terms of, the antiquity compared to the Acropolis. So it dates back to 1400 before Christ.
Wow.
Now, moving further down to the east side of Crete, you'll see the picturesque little village of Agios Nikolaos. Another Virtuoso property that we've chosen is Dios Cove, just became Virtuoso this year. And it's quite a big establishment, but they've got their private villas. So we've got you covered again as well for this year. And then 11 kilometers away from Agios Nikolaos. So Agios Nikolaos is a village where you would find a decent nightlife. You will have a lot of restaurant options. It is very picturesque. And then Elunda is the most popular Greek resort, let's say, in Greece. So back in the days, the prime ministers of Greece used to go there for their holidays. So it's very cosmopolitan. still up until these days. And then just opposite the Lunda, so you've got a Lunda, and just opposite you've got the Spinalonga Island, which is actually associated with time of quarantine, which is very familiar to all of us these days. Because back in the 50s was used for the lepers to get treated and recover. So today it's an open air museum. It's a must-do activity. So if you take the little boat, it takes you about 20 minutes to cross over, and you can spend the day around there. And it's actually under consideration to become a World Heritage Site as well.
Sure. Looks like a good place to quarantine, honestly. I'll take that.
So on the western side of Crete now, we've got Hania, which is very known location as well. Domus Neruz is one of our suggested properties by the water. And then if you are really into activities, because there is so much to do in the area in terms of there is the small villages up there, the mountains, there is popular beaches. Possibly the best beaches in Crete are in the side of Hania. And then we can definitely recommend a sailing tour, a day sailing tour in the beaches of Balos and the Lafonisi. This is not Photoshop. This is a real picture. This is how the water is looking like. And then for the most the fit travelers, the ones who are really keen to do some proper exercise when they're in Crete, we definitely recommend the Samaria Gorge activity, which is, again, I mean, all of our activities is with a private guide. It's a 16-kilometer hike through the longest and most impressive limestone gorges in Europe. So definitely a must-do when you're there. Now, Crete is very popular for the olive oil production. I would say the Cretans and the Peloponnesians, which we cover next, are fighting whose olive oil is of superior quality. And then I would say that Crete is probably the biggest producer in Europe, you know, even compared to Italy and Spain. So on this first activity, you will take the first stop in an ecological prototype farm, which is like in a family owned, and they promote the traditional way of organic olive oil production. Then you will, so there was a Greek American who had this long life dream, and he actually put together, how can I say it, like, you know, he created this quaint winery, where is the next stop of the tour, and then you finish off with a fantastic Cretan meal by the olive groves. Now I'm going back to the map simply to showcase a little bit of where Rethymno is. So Rethymno is not very popular, but it's a little town between Hania and Iraklion. Now you get a good look of the old town of Rethymno. Back in the days, it was under the Venetian, how can I say, conquerors. And it became a lot more popular when they decided to put an intermediate commercial stop between Iraklion and Hania. So basically the old town was entirely built by the Republic of Venice. And these days is one of the best well-preserved old towns in Crete. So definitely give it a go, even for a day trip. Now, one of the reasons that many people, James, visit Greece is food, apart from the beautiful weather and the beaches. So in Eclectic, we have put together either culinary walks or a food tour or cooking classes just to cover all tastes. So this is a walk that you definitely have to take. One thing that you have to do before that is not to eat for a few hours, because it includes 7 stops.